Good evening, sir. My name is Dhanvin Suresh.
This
I'm a
webinar
coordinator
will
of the Pepsi Club.
I cannot hear
And
you if you speak. You just need to type in the chat section.
oh, all right, all right.
Okay. So this webinar will be a little unusual because most of the motivational webinars are focused to create some motivation so people can make themselves to do more challenging stuff. This will be a little unusual in that sense. We are here to teach how to relieve ourselves sometimes when to let things go for good, right? If I'm not audible, you can write to me in the comment this chat section so I can know, okay? So I don't speak with myself all the time. A lot of queries were asked of me through this FEPSI group that I should address depression, for instance. Okay. So depression, how to tackle anxiety, how to motivate yourself, and how to come out of these negative spirals. These all were constant issues that comes in student life, of course. So starting with depression, right? Depression today, a lot of people do not understand what is depression. And being a mental health specialist, it's my duty to explain it's not that simple how it looks, right? Depression is as serious as other disease or other serious disorder, right? And it is mainly consist of a depressive triad. That means a triangular triad where three major symptoms should be there. First is anhedonia. So anhedonia is a medical term. If I explain you in this layman language, so anhedonia means when your mood is consistently low and you experience less joy out of things you usually enjoyed earlier in your life, right? That is anhedonia. So when anhedonia is there, we can see that one major symptom is there of depression. Yes. Another one is when motor function is decreased. A lot of people, when they are stressed, they feel dizzy, they feel out of energy, lethargic, and less brain function. They cannot memorize a lot of things. If that symptom is there, we can say that motor inhibition is a little decreased. Yes. And third and last thing about that depressive triad is impaired thinking. What Sampon is presenting. Okay, so last thing of this triad is impaired thinking. Impaired thinking in layman language, we can say if someone having anxiety issues. Yes, regarding anxiety, we will discuss it later. We will also discuss anxiety. I will tell you a lot about anxiety because anxiety is the most common disorder in worldwide today. Yes, after the depression. So anxiety, when you think a lot and you are scared of doing things, you're all the time nervous and you cannot address your problems the way you should. So if all three are there, all major symptoms are there, we can say that someone is suffering from acute form of depression, temporary depression, or if it's for prolonged period, if someone is having these major symptoms throughout the year or two, we can say that is clinical depression already, right? So addressing it as serious as it is very important, right? So this is mainly I cannot explain depression more simply than this. So this is what depression looks like in form of symptoms, but it is very important to understand what may be the causes of it. Yes, because causes are there are a lot of causes for depression. Mhm. For example, we will begin with surroundings, right? So surroundings play a major role in maintaining your mental health. See, for example, if someone is fit, physically fit, he will not have flu, he will not have other disorders, or he will generally be fit because his entire body is healthy, and his immunity will go up, and his power will increase. So similarly, if our brain function is in order, if our mental health is good, we won't catch any mental disorders. For example, if we take flu, similar is depression. If our mental health is compromised in a long run, we are more prone to catch depression. And once we catch it, it gets very tricky to resolve this, because you can work on preventive methods. Prevention is always better than cure. You have heard it a lot, I guess. So prevention is the best solution to this. Keeping your mental health up to the mark will resolve all of your problems, right? And how to do it? There we go. Choosing surroundings well. Yes, today our surroundings have a lot of toxicity. Yes, they, in form of friends, family, students, teachers, children, wife, husband. There are many people we are connected to, and they can be toxic at times, and consistent toxicity from them can lead to a bad mental health, and that can lead to depression or anxiety disorders. So it's important to choose your surroundings wisely. Yes. Whereas we cannot choose some of our relation, of course, like mother and father, parents. But a lot of patients come to me. Parents can be a boon at times. They can be the best person you have and worst person you have, because you cannot get rid of them if they are harming your mental health increasingly. Yes, so there should be necessary steps, techniques, how to distance yourself from toxicity, toxic friends. I have seen a lot of people who have mental health issues, and that issue is due to the friend circle they are in. So that friend circle will consistently judge them, put them down, demotivate them on the name of friendship, and that should not be the case. Like friendship, the definition of friendship is late today in teenagers, is very harming, and it's harming everyone. Just a moment. Uh, So, friendship, definition of friendship should be laid by you. Like you should decide what kind of relation you need in form of friends, right? They should support you. They should not cause anxiety in you. Like uh, if you want to achieve your ambitions, right? So ambition requires a lot of bold steps in life, right? And when you take and make bold steps in your life, friends, family should support you instead of criticizing you or putting you down, laugh on you, right? So that circle should be customized by you. Yes, by keeping mental health as a priority. We will talk more about this, but surrounding plays a very important role in ensuring. Someone is calling. Wait. Is there any glitch, guys?
No, sir, no.
Mhm. So after surroundings, if we manage our surroundings to keep them in a good way, we can see more causes to bad mental health. And one more form can be nutrition. Nutrition plays very vital and important role in mental health, physical health, and our general well-being, right? In nutrition, I would like to address first this diet culture of ours these days, right? A lot of people today, girls and boys, are keen to follow strict diet regimes, calorie deficit states to look more thinner, fitter, but they don't understand what means fit, right? Redefining these things are very important today. And how to redefine it? Whatever increases longevity and happiness is a good diet to follow. And all the diets, including calorie deficit, keto diets and etc., that this fitness culture is creating more chaos in our society by making people more sick in terms of mental health. So I suggest that one should choose diet in the parameter of happiness. uh, I have written a book over this, Depowering Depression, where entire sequence is based on diet of happiness. So if someone wants to read it thoroughly, one can go out there and read and free download it, and diet of happiness can be there. So it explains in details how a diet of happiness should be, what a person should be, importance of carbohydrates, importance of sugar, and importance of vitamins, how vitamin B plays an important role in you, and one more thing, gut health, right? uh, we have mainly three neurotransmitters in our brain, mainly like oxytocin, serotonin, and dopamine, right? So their balance plays an important role in ensuring your mood, happiness, cognition, motor function, etc. So if you think that brain releases those neurotransmitters, it's wrong, because our gut releases those neurotransmitters. And by saying that, gut health is very important. Yes, using excessive fiber in diet, salads, vitamins, and if someone has a compromised gut, they will surely feel sad, and the mood will decrease, and anhedonia can be there. So it's important to take care of your gut health, and you can do it by following things, by following a diet which is important to you for your gut health. Yes, which just tells you a lot about gut, carbohydrates, fibers, vitamins, and protein. Yes, keeping gut healthy means keeping brain healthy. And if more to speak, our breathing, yoga and meditation. Everyone, I am sure everyone have heard that yoga and meditation relieves stress. But how? Right? So whenever we are anxious and whenever we are stressed, we feel our breathing changes, our breathing habit changes. So our breathing gets shortened. Just a moment. So our breathing gets shortened, right? And how it gets shortened, that we are anxious and our heart gets palpitations, our breathing gets shorter, and we get more nervous. And later, when we have again that symptom, the shortness of breath, our body will send a signal to our brain that we should feel sad. So physical symptoms work on emotional symptoms, and emotional symptoms work on physical symptoms. They are very much interlinked. So doing breathing exercise, mainly pranayams, right? India is very rich in this spiritual culture, and there are a lot of yogas and pranayams, meditation techniques one should try. And meditation can it is a practice of breathing, right? It can strengthen your breathing process, and your vagus nerve can get strong. So it tolerates the emotional burden of it. And as I said, they are interlinked. Once you work on your breathing, it will stop you to feel sad. So it will work on you as a antidepressant of some natural sort, and it is very good in a long run, especially in a long run. Like if you as I said, prevention. So as a preventive method, it's the best you can do, right? To relieve you and yourself from stress. It's like a vaccine of mental health. You will never have mental health problem if you start to do yoga pranayams today to strengthen your breathing and brain neurotransmitter process. And also it plays very important role in increasing your metabolism. Metabolism is very important. I'll starting from the physical benefits, it burns more energy, and it keeps you thinner, and you stay happier without going in calorie deficit state, right? And there are mindfulness parts, right? we call CBT, cognition behavioral therapy, one can do to itself, right? Mindfulness is very important. You know, when their perceptions are tight, when their perceptions are healthy, yes, so they cannot feel saddened by that. It's important to understand, like if something happened and it's not affecting you in that negative way that it should, so you won't feel that sad, right? So it's important to take things lightly in life, right? Most of the motivation speaker motivates you to take things seriously, but sometimes it's important to take things lightly to ensure more productivity in a long run. I'm not saying like take everything lightly and you will end up nowhere in life. No, like if you will take strategically things lighter, so you can work more productivity in a long run, so you can achieve, you are prone to achieve more ambitions and goals in a long run, right? So that's what I'm proposing, to take things a little lighter than they actually are, but plan and tackle them, right, strategically. Even if you take things lightly, you should work for them, right? That's how it works. And one example there should be a tragedy paradox. What is tragedy paradox? Tragedy paradox is everyone laughs at another person when a tragedy occurs. Yes. If, for example, your friend just fall in front of your eyes, you will laugh a lot, right? Because it's funny for you. And a lot of similar events happen in front of you and you start to laugh, it's funny for you. So tragedy paradox is when same thing happens to you don't take it as sportingly, you take others events, right? And you go deep down in sadness, anhedonia, and you feel very bad about it, and that's where it starts. So tragedy paradox, what it educates us, it educates that we should take our tragedies as we take others tragedies, so it becomes fun. Yes, taking your stuff sportingly plays important role in ensuring and preventing you from excessive stress it can give you. So it's a very good technique if you practice it. And even you think about it, whenever some tragedy happens with you, even if you think this thought that what you did when the same tragedy happened with another one, so it will relieve your tragedy. I'm not saying, like, I'm not showing a mirror that you should feel bad that you are laughing on others. It's just to relieve yourself from your tragedies by taking consideration of tragedy paradox in your life, right? And I would like to talk about the taboos present today. Not to forget that people are waiting a lot. Like someone is feeling sad from last 1 year, someone is not productive, someone feels lethargic from last 2 years, and it's affecting on their professional life, in their education. They cannot study, they cannot memorize. So what they do is they wait. Yes, they wait and allow feelings to change itself. Today, even today, I wrote a quote on Instagram that people wait a lot to automatically change their feelings without, so they can act in future. But one should act to change their feelings, and feelings will change. So taking a fast approach is vital here. Yes, by saying vital, I mean uh, you should address them professionally. You should take them as seriously as you can take. Like, it's a paradox. I said earlier that it's opposite of tragedy paradox. So it's opposite, but it's important to understand when to apply what, right, in life. So first, for example, you are lethargic and you're dizzy, you're depressed from last 1 year. Going to a mental health specialist is the best thing you can do, right? You don't have to feel extremely low or extremely lazy to finally take a step. Then you won't take a step actually, right? If to remind you an example, a very fresh example, like Sushant's event, everyone is saddened by it, right? And this event, unfortunate event, occurred some days ago. And I would like to tell you that he was just one injection away from realizing how irrational decision that can be, right? So today, mental health has developed its fields extremely, and there are new research drugs, there are new researches around supplementation, and we can handle it in a way that you cannot imagine. Like we treat it as someone is having heart disease that can be treated entirely. Similarly, in psychiatry, there is nothing which cannot be solved or resolved. So approaching and breaking this taboo of not going and not addressing a mental health specialist is very bad. One should break taboos inside their mind, and whenever they have problem, they should address it very seriously to get rid of it immediately. Yes, a lot of people in life, they don't realize that their minor, in minor form, their mental health is compromised, and in result, what happens is that they cannot achieve their ambition in time, and when time runs out, nothing works out. So that happens with a lot of people, and after 30 years of age, things start to change more towards the worst side. Yes, after 30, a lot of people become very sensitive. Yes, sensitivity is another symptom of anxiety when they take offense on almost everything. Yes, you have noticed, like your parents are taking offense on almost everything, right? So it's happening. They are their mental health is little compromised somewhere, right? But also they cannot achieve after 30 to 35 years of age. Your capability of tackling big things decreases thoroughly, but we don't care. Yes, for example, a lot of billionaires, rich people, yes, they address it very professionally. They work with mentors, they work with mental health professionals, they keep themselves as sharp as blade in terms of mind power, right? As fit as they could be, as energetic and fit to study, learn, execute, practice, and politically correctness, diplomacy, intellectuality. They learn it all, and they keep learning. They every day they try to be a better person without holding excessive ego inside of thinking that we are already done a lot, we lived our lives and we are the best. Yes, if some of elder people have joined in, yes, this is for you also, that it's important to refresh and re do your cognition, your motor function, and your mood, and work on it as your primary investment. And investment, by investment, I don't mean that investing in someone else. Like you can invest in yourself by making yourself happy. Yes, by buying a yoga class, by going to a pranayam, and by doing things which can make you happy. And of course, a mental health specialist reading books which are good in that genre, and always learning and always exercising physically to keep your mind and body fit, right? And yes, this is very important today. uh, there are more taboos. Yes, something is wrong. uh, okay, we will take questions, okay, after a while. Just let me speak a little if you're interested, or we should start the questionnaire right away.
No,
You
sir,
can write to
continue.
me in the chat section. Yes, I have a little more to explain to you if you, it's okay. So visiting a mental health specialist is important if you feel so, and prevention is primary. Yes, if you keep your mental health up to date, you don't need to do anything in future, right? So prevention is the best thing you can do for ensuring your mental health, and keeping your mind and body all right will give you excessive time and years to pursue your goals and ambitions. Yes, it's not about just 5 years you're trying hard and then you are just, lethargic for your life, right? And I would like to explain more about the taboo of medicines. This is very important today, because as I see, a lot of patients visit me, and they all say one thing, that they don't want medicine, they don't want anything to take, or right. So that is a very wrong approach. They want to fight their invisible enemy, their selves, right? That is not right. Why that's not right? Because first thing depression harms is your willpower. First thing, when you will have decreased mental health, it will affect your willpower immediately, right? And without willpower, how you will fight? Yes, every warrior's hidden weapon is willpower, not a sword. So if there is no willpower, how someone is supposed to battle that? So I encourage them to have their willpower back by not considering a taboo. Yes, when we talk about medicines, uh, I see that a lot of teenagers and college students, whenever they have breakups and they have some family issues, they are depressed, they're sad, or they fail exams, they try to drink a lot of alcohol, they do narcotics, cigarettes. So I want to tell you that these psychiatric medicines are safer than those that you are addicting yourself with. So this is a great example you can break your taboo with. And whenever you need a professional, you should not be scared to use medicines. Yes, nutrition, fitness, keeping your gut health tight, mindfulness, and at last, reading a lot to learn a lot. And whenever it's possible, whenever you think it's the time to consult a mental health specialist, you should. So that's what it is. And regarding goals and ambitions, as you are all college students in general, it's very important for you, like to, because it's a time when life gets challenging, where you should tackle a lot of challenges, you should earn money, right? So for that, I have a statement like today, as a professional, I'm a psychiatrist, right? But thousands and a lot of people in India know me by my writing skills, right? So having a hobby is a bliss. Everyone should have a serious hobby, because by hobby, millions of people will know you. And working on your hobby will give you mindfulness and energy to invest in your professional life. Yes, everyone maybe is aware that how our society traps us inside a salary, and we can never go out of it. But hobby is always one thing which can relieve you from a commercial trap, right? Whoever is employed right now, this may be for them, that how they can revive themselves, and this is a great exit from a commercial trap. Yes, so it's important to have a very good hobby which can give you a good mood, and which can be a relaxation for you, and which can give you a commercial leverage in a long run, right? So if you guys have questions, uh, kindly write in chat section. We will be addressing some questions if you have. Guys, you can write in the chat section if there is any question, then we can take it further a little. How do we work on boosting our self-esteem? See, self-esteem is a emotion, right? When you think that you are consistently motivated, right? It is a symptom of anxiety when someone is having low self-esteem, right? They are skeptical about their capabilities all the time, right? So working on your hidden anxiety is the solution to self-esteem, because no one is born with low self-esteem. It is like developed by time, yes, by events. And one more important thing, that whenever there is a sad event in your life, whenever there is a tragedy, right, you should feel sad about, because sad things should give you sadness. That is same thing to do, right? Something which can give you happiness should give you happiness. That is same thing. That is a normal thing. That should how it should be. And a sad thing should give you sadness, right? But what you should not take it from that is the guilt part. You want to feel sad, feel extremely sad, but don't feel it's guilt that you are doing something or feeling something wrong, because it's like a two-way street. If you feel sad, you will feel happy, right? So don't feel it's guilt, and work on your behavioral cognition by learning about it. uh, uh, how do we attain genuine positivity? As I said, positivity can be an outcome of positive life or positive ambitions. A lot of stress comes from your financial status, your personal financial status, and your professional life. When you are professionally not enjoying what you do, you will not feel positive about it, right? So asking yourself what you want to do is a key to open the immense positive door. Like, a lot of positivity can be harvested by doing things you enjoy, right? By keeping yourself motivated. And the things I suggested, remember, I gave you an example. A fit body will prevent all physical disorders. He will never have a heart issue, he will never have a kidney issue, he will never have any sort of disorder, even not a flu. Similarly, when your mental health is in check, you won't feel negative, you will feel powerful inside. So that's what it. Yes, let's take it next. About removing toxic people from your life and live in a healthy environment. But sir, it's easy said than done. Yes, right. It's very difficult to leave or get rid of toxic people or peers, especially if you're an introvert. What should one do in such a case? See, if someone is introvert, they don't need 50 friends, so one is enough. And yes, it's very hard. Yes, it's very hard when it comes to your relatives. When even in some patients, even their parents are very toxic, and they assault their children. So it gets very tricky. But yes, it's easy to say and difficult to do, right? But keeping slow distance, playing diplomacy, right? Your parents can your the toxic relation comes with a boon also. Yes, sometimes they seem to be the best person in entire world. Yes, and when their toxicity releases, they are the worst person in the entire world. So you need to diplomatically distance yourself with their toxicity, but embrace their positivity they can give you, right? Next, what is your take on the rise of a lot of depression related TV shows? Do you think they are glorifying? I think this won't help in any way, but I will answer this. See how this TV, cinema, these trends work. Like, they always focus on what's viral, right? Since that unfortunate event of Sushant, every news channel, every show, everyone is talking about it. So what TV shows need is TRP, money, and they can harvest it only from making viral stuff. And how to make viral stuff? By picking trends, by picking what audience is suffering from. Yes, so empathetically they are picking it up, and that's why they are making a lot of TV shows on this. But their attempt is not to glorify depression. Their attempt is to harvest a lot of money, right? And it is important because this is on trend. That's why we are here, right? That's why this your group, your university has invited me to speak with you, and I think this is creating good than bad. So you're welcome. Thank you for inviting me as well. Okay. Sir, you are doctor, TEDx speaker, and selling author. How can you manage all these things and keep up your... thank you for this question. This is very close to me, and I would like to speak about it. If you cannot hear, I will read for you, and then I'll answer, okay? You are a doctor, TEDx speaker, best-selling author. How can you manage all these things and keep up with your and other mental health? Yes, see, I have chosen everything in my life what gives me happiness. Giving this webinar, educating you about it, makes me happy that I'm playing an essential role in awareing people about it, right? I was very interested in psychology, psychiatry, and mental health. So I have done in my life what made me happy, and I have done it very seriously. And I'm keeping my mental health in check consistently, right? So if you do it, you can see that and nothing is impossible. You can do 20 things, not one, 20 things you can do, and you can do everything perfectly, right? A lot of people say that sailing in one boat is can take you somewhere, but sailing in two boats can tear your legs apart. So that, that's what they say. But this is modern times. This is not ancient times of 1900. These days you need to travel in 20 boats, 25 boats. Yes, this is a time of fleet. Like you should keep yourself perfect to challenge this world and tackle this world with your passion, with your ambitions, with the things you love, right? So that's very important. Staying alone and isolating ourselves when things go south is kind of addictive. Any tips as to how do we pull ourselves out of it? Ourselves when things go so is kind of, see, staying alone, nothing is wrong in it. Okay, so far you're enjoying that loneliness. So what's wrong in it? I mean, if that is a social withdrawal, I can say that is some symptom of acute depression, and you should, of course, consult a mental health specialist for that. You should not wait for extreme damage to your health. You should consult right away whenever you feel so, right? Thank you, Session. You're welcome. Thank you for inviting me as well. The best books you would recommend that inspire you. The Alchemist is very close to me. The way they speak language of nature and how you should. I learned from it a lot than it spoke. Right, reading between the lines of a book is very, very essential. Right, and the way Alchemist speaks, it can educate you about listening to yourself, right? Knowing yourself, who you are. And in everyone's life, there is a hidden treasure to seek and harvest. But if you listen to a lot of people and you don't know what you want, yeah, it's better to do nothing than to do something which can create a mess in your life, right? How do we self-assess ourselves for depression? As I explained you, the depressive triad: anhedonia, motor function, and that anxiety issue, right? If you have the anxiety thing, when you see things are very small and you see them as a mountain of a problem and you give up very quickly, there is something you can assess yourself, that you should consult someone professional with that. And that preventive, don't forget that preventive table, right? Apply in your life and be the best of yourself. One thing, do you still struggle? You think it's about me? This webinar is about me? I think it's about you guys, right? So you should address your problems. Of course, I struggle. Struggle is a human thing, right? I struggle every day. I hustle every day. I hustle every hour, right? But you should understand there will be always problems in your lives. Always there will be problems. But what is life? You should always keep solving them and keeping yourself happy in solving them. Whenever you solve a problem, your dopamine gets hype, right? So you get a reward feeling, and you reach the bliss. So always solve your struggles, problems with a positive mindset. uh, You're welcome. Thank you for inviting me here also. I want to ask that, considering how people who suffer from mental health problems tend to cut themselves off, how can we as a friend or a family member get them to open? Thank you for this question. Actually, I forgot, I have pinpointed this issue, but I forgot to address it. See, how to understand depression. Depression is not a mood. I would like to give you an example of Akshay Kumar. See, whenever that event occurred, right, next day Akshay Kumar came live and said that everything has a solution and you should have ambition and achievement. You can achieve your goals whenever you want. So he, in a passive way, proposed achievement and ambition as a solution. But depression is not something about achievement and ambition. For a depressive personality, achievement and ambition doesn't matter. So it's important to understand, and never say to a depressed person that try. If you don't find a sense in it, I would like to give you an example. Can you ask a cardiac patient to try and heal himself. No, they are same disorders. You should understand the severity of it, and not take it as granted. People are battling themselves. People are battling a hidden monster which is worse than anything in the world, right? And when, as a friend, you are going and saying, try harder to be positive. It's just, as someone of you said, it's easy to say and hard to do. What's best is getting in touch with a professional, and uh, do your journey with a mental health specialist, because they understand you best. And taking sessions as a family member is also very important. Family structure, as I explained, surroundings play an important role in ensuring your mental health, right? So family members should also aware themselves with what depression, how it works, and etc., how to not hurt someone who is ready to get hurt on each and everything, right? So you should understand its complexity and educate yourself about it. But as depression is extremely complicated, I cannot simply tell you everything, right? It's not it. I have studied in 7 years. How can I supposedly tell you everything about it, right? So read a lot about it. I can give you a mindset from where you can begin. So read a lot about it. Aware yourself about the therapies and taboos. Break your taboos inside of you and for others also. Tips on keeping people in your life yet being disconnected with them mentally and not let them, of course, festive gifts. That's all. So, is depression more of a medical condition or psychological one? See, depression is a medical condition, but it can be relieved psychologically as all other disorders. But professional approach must be there. So, any other questions which you think is very important to address for you today? However, I have in details gave you how you should keep yourself in check. Prevention is the best. And if you feel that you should consult me personally and your issues are bigger than that, feel free to connect to me on my social media handles, as this Websy group can provide you my details. Mindset of winners. Well, in my opinion, psychologically, mindset of winners are like they struggle and they struggle. They believe in hustling. Their mindset is like they will solve their problems. Problems will be always there, and but they will keep on solving them, and that's what's life. And making it a bliss and enjoy those. Will a medical person advice be better or that of a psychologist? What do you mean by a medical person's advice? Advice, yes, psychologists can give you a good advice, but advice won't work like it won't work in cardiology also. So advices and psychiatric approach both altogether is important. Passion or responsibilities. If you work on your passion, responsibilities fade away. How to not let your mental health affect work? Well, choosing work you love will create a harmony in your mental health. And if preventive work, see, I will explain you all of you, how important is mental health investments, right? Every one of us thinks that we are very smart and we are the best and we can solve every problem ourselves, right? But there are different altitudes, psychological altitudes. You cannot see yourself without a mirror, right? You cannot see yourself. This is a great example if you consider that. Seeing your errors, seeing your problems, resolving them, only another trusted personality can do that, right? So it's very important to see as a primary investment, and it's not financial one. It's not about money. It's about physically, emotionally, spiritually, and spiritual thing is very good for keeping your mental faith up, right? Some of you believe, or a lot of you people believe in God, and it's a very good thing. Spirituality eases a lot of stress and anxiety from you. So it's good if you focus on a little on spirituality. Can you tell about your book, The Chimera, and how it can help us? The Chimera is very raw psychology. It explains you structure and altitude of our society. It is a very deep read and hard to bite thing. Like it's a hard meat to bite. You cannot just, it's not a very big book, but you cannot finish it like in one night. Like, it takes a lot. It provokes your thoughts. But if you consider especially healing, I would recommend you to read Depowering Depression. That is right specifically in terms of depression, mental health. What factors should we consider most often when planning for the future as a student or in personal life? See, seeing life in a long run and short run is very important. See, you should see life in a long run and short run. I mean, if you will only think life in a long run, you won't work in a short run. So thinking in a short run will ensure consistent growth for your long run. So though both goals should match each other. For example, if you hustle daily, there is nothing you cannot do, because in a day there are 24 hours. In 24 hours, mostly you can work for 10 hours, and in 10 hours, mostly you can do productivity for 2 to 3 hours. So there is a very little thing you can possibly do in those hours. But the winners and billionaires are decided in those 2 3 hours daily. So hustle daily. Okay, last question, okay, people, because it's time. I have to then move to hospital, as these times are very hard. Give me last question, okay? Just last one, okay? Last one. So no one is taking the risk. Yeah, like they will drop the message and there will won't be the last one. Okay, no more questions, I guess. How are you managing everything in this situation? I have explained this. In this situation, I haven't slept from last 2 to 3 days since this situation is. I'm feeling sleepy right now, but it's very important to give mental health tips as well, because I believe it's my passion to aware people about it. So yes, I do what I enjoy, and I'm enjoying everything. The hard work is my relaxation. So that's it, guys. Okay, I think this is time I should go. Thank you very much. You were a great listener, and I am very happy that I got a chance to aware people and educate something to you. And thank you to Pepsi Group as well. These guys are trying very hard to get the knowledge you deserve. Okay, guys, I appreciate them as well. And have a good day. I'm signing off. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for the session.
And how to sign off? This is another struggle.